This movie really is just Die Hard on a battleship. Let's get into it. Hey, welcome back to my channel. I did Under Siege 2 Dark Territory a few weeks ago, so I figured let's go back and check out the original Under Siege, which is an infinitely better film than Under Siege 2. I did give Under Siege 2 a positive review. I do like that film. I think it's over the top. The first Under Siege is more grounded. And I'm not saying there's some over the top stuff in it, but it's way more grounded than the second one. The second one, they took it beyond, the realm of possibilities by far. In this film, Steven Seagal reteamed with the director who directed his first film, Above the Law, and that director is Andrew Davis. Andrew Davis did this film a year before he did The Fugitive, and which garnered him critical acclaim. And I'm still an unapologetic Steven Seagal fan, especially from early in his career, the films he made. I like Above the Law. I like Hard to Kill, even though it's cheesy and kind of batshit crazy. I really like Marked for Death. I think there's some really, really good, well-done action scenes in that film. I like Out for Justice. But this is my favorite Steven Seagal film, by far. It's definitely the biggest scope of any of his films. And it's probably some of the best filmed action scenes. Although his movies, especially his early ones, there were some really good, well-done action scenes in some of his films. But this one probably had the best of them all, in my opinion. And I think it helps that there's a really good supporting cast around Steven Seagal. You got Gary Busey in there. You got Tommy Lee Jones, who's great in the film as Stranix. I'm not going to go into the whole film. There's a lot of good character actors you'd recognize if you look around the screen. There's definitely recognizable faces there, especially if you're a movie fan. Erica Laniak's in the film. Here's the thing about Erica Laniak in this film. Her character really serves no purpose in this movie whatsoever. No offense to her as an actress, but she really has no reason to be there. It's a character that could have been cut out of the script and not... She's only there for a little bit of TNA on screen. And other than that, her character serves absolutely no purpose whatsoever. That's my one big rant against the movie. Her character doesn't provide anything other than a little TNA on screen, and that's it. But let's get into it. This movie was actually made for a budget of $35 million. And it was released in 1992, and when upon release, it made $83.5 million in the U.S. and $156.5 million worldwide. This was Steven Seagal's biggest box office success of his career. And for good reason. It's a good action film. It really, really is. Now, it is just basically Die Hard on a battleship, and the only difference is Casey Ryback's character compared to John McClane's character is that Casey Ryback's an ex-Navy SEAL, highly decorated. So he's trained for the situation. So that's basically the only difference. Other than that, it pretty much is a Die Hard ripoff. But it's a good Die Hard ripoff, so you just go along for the ride. It started the movie, we're introduced to, it shows the ceremony going on at Pearl Harbor for the USS Missouri, which is the ship Casey Ryback's on, him and his crew. And it has George Bush Sr. giving a speech. And then it says about how they're taking the USS Missouri to its final resting place because they're retiring the ship. We're introduced to the captain. Casey Ryback's the main cook on the ship. And Gary Busey plays Commander Krill. And Casey Ryback and Krill have an adversarial relationship. They don't like each other very much. And even the captain tells Krill, you don't even understand about Ryback. Leave him alone. You would have no idea. And the reason for that was we find out later in the movie, the only people on the ship that know this is the captain and Casey Ryback, is that he's a highly decorated ex-Navy SEAL. And the only reason he's there is to serve out his 20 because he knocked out his commanding officer and now he's on the ship cooking. And so then it sets up there, it's the captain's birthday, and they're going to fly in a band and food from Hawaii for his birthday, and they tell the kitchen staff they're done. They don't have to cook or anything like that, and Ryback has a problem with that. Him and Krill get into a little bit of a fight, and they lock Ryback in the reefer till after the party. This is where we're introduced to Tommy Lee Jones and his band of mercenaries, which, they get on the ship, they start playing and serving food, and then it happens. They kill the captain, and they start killing the men, and they start putting them in they start locking him into forecastle. And Ryback gets out. He discovers Erica Laniak's character, who, funny enough, in real life, she was an ex-Playboy Playmate. In the movie, she plays an ex-Playboy Playmate. And she tags along with him while he kills bad guys and rescues the good guys. I'm just going to fast forward through it. At the end of the movie, we get our major showdown between Tommy Lee Jones and Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal kills Tommy Lee Jones, and Steven Seagal saves the day. Now, the good thing about this film is the action scenes are really well filmed. And Andrew Davis does a nice job of framing the action, the hand-to-hand combat, the shootouts. You can tell what's going on. You can see all the glorious R-rated action going on. When Steven Seagal rips somebody's throat out, you see it, which is a really cool scene. There's a cool scene in the workshop below decks where he knees a guy into his shoulder blade into a saw, which is really cool. I mean, there's some really cool action scenes in this film. And it's definitely, like I said, the largest scope of a movie that Steven Seagal ever was in. And it's a cool setting on a battleship. It really is. Steven Seagal's good in the movie for what he is. Steven Seagal's not the best actor. And he doesn't have charisma like Arnold or Sly. But he was one of our good action stars at that point. He's not the greatest actor, but I always liked his films, especially back then. After this, I liked Under Siege 2. On Deadly Ground, I like some of the action scenes, but the story's not that great. Although I do like Michael Caine gloriously chewing the scenery in that film as the bad guy. Because he's such a scumbag, over-the-top scumbag. You can tell Michael Caine's just chewing it up, spitting it out. He didn't give a shit. He just gave it all to being as big as prick he could be. And he's fun in it. I like Fire Down Below, Glimmer Man. I mean, I'll admit his direct-to-video movies are absolute dog shit. I've seen a couple of them. Oh, my God, they're fucking awful. Pardon my French. I know I just dropped an F-bomb. Sorry. But that's how bad the movies are. They're effing terrible. But Under Siege, I mean, look, he had a really good director, helming it. He had some really good co-stars in the film. It's a good packaged movie. It looks good. The movie keeps moving. The pace is good. I just rewatched it the other night, and it holds up really well. It's a really good action film. No matter what you think about Steven Seagal, there's no denying this is a good action film. I would give this movie an 8.25 out of 10. It's definitely my favorite Steven Seagal movie. It's the best he's ever been, best movie he's ever been in. So that's it for Under Siege. 8.25 from me. Have you seen Under Siege? What do you think about it? Is this, out of the two Under Siege movies, is this your favorite? It's definitely my favorite. Is this your favorite Steven Seagal film? If not, what is? Leave a comment down below. Hit the thumbs up. Share, like, subscribe here. Join me. And I will be back soon with another review. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.